What's shaking, YouTubenites? Welcome to the Comic Shaker Show for May 8th. As you can see, the boys are in the house. Got Chris, got JB. JB's always holding it down with us, man. I appreciate you, JB. But guys, let's fire up the ones and twos while you get comfortable, kick back, and enjoy the show. Here we go.
I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with the shape of you. I'm in love with your body. I'm in love with the shape of you.
Nothing but good vibes. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Shaker Show. Hanging with Chris, hanging with JB. Let's go around the horn and say hi to everybody. Chris, how's it going, brother?
Oh, man. This has been such a great week. I don't know if you guys in the chat have had the glory and experience of watching the new Thunderbolts movie, but, man, there's some good moments in that. We were overdue for a good Marvel movie, and I'm happy to say that in my mind, Thunderbolts delivered. Now, I didn't think Captain America was that bad, to be honest, but Thunderbolts delivered in a Red Guardian-driven limo. They delivered. That's how they delivered.
Yeah, we look, I'm gonna be honest with you. JB got to hold it down last week, which I'm so grateful for. Thank you, JB, for doing nothing but an amazing job as always. But JB had to fill in because, well, I went to watch Thunderbolts on the Thursday, man. And we only had 3 days to watch Thunderbolts because technically, if you go watch it now, you're going to watch the new Avengers, right? That's what's up. That's what's up. But yeah, no, I agree with you, Chris. The movie was amazing. But JB, what's going on with you, man?
Man, don't spoil it. It's all spoiled already. They spoiled their own movie. Thanks for having me on tonight. I really do appreciate it. I have not seen it yet. I do plan on seeing it this weekend. So I've heard lots of good stuff about it. So I'm super excited. I'm super excited about this list. I got a book on the Shakers list, man.
Oh,
I always like it when I show up strong with a book on the Shakers list. When you can avoid the offer on this list, you've done something.
Yeah. And, I tend to end up in the Ophir Abyss almost every week alongside the majority of the chat. So, how about we kick it off? We open up the Ophir Abyss and get ready to hop on in all together, guys. So, to kick it off, here we are, guys. This list comes from our friends at Cover Price, focusing on new high sales or the most interesting sales found on their exclusive daily shaker list. This list changes several times every day, so make sure to check it every day to review some of the hottest trending books in the market. And to kick off the list for tonight's Shaker Show, Chris, what do we got at number 1?
I bet that this is the book that JB's got.
Oh, yeah.
Just my personal guess. Shaker number 1, we got Avengers number 53 from Marvel back in 1968. The quality of our lives depend not on whether we have conflicts, but on how we respond to them. Wisdom. However, comic book fans always love a good team-on-team fight, which is at the center of the Shaker. This issue of the Avengers featured the guest appearance from the X-Men with the original Big Five. That's Cyclops, Marvel Girl, Iceman, Beast, and Angel. On the cover, whoever picked up this shaker must be speculating or desperately wanting the X-Men from 20th Century Fox to fight the MCU Avengers in the upcoming Avengers Doomsday. While it is unlikely that Marvel will adopt this storyline, this may be part of the first time the Avengers and the X-Men were found in conflict. There were 1,390 graded copies on the census, with only 32 of them with the CGC 9.8, which means that of all the graded slabs, less than 3% are 9.8. Recently, a 9.8 sold for $7,500. So, you know what? I definitely understand why early X-Men appearances and early 12 center Avengers is getting graded, but 32 9.8s.
So you said there's 32 9.8s. Hold on.
I got a 5.
He's
Look at
got
that!
a
I
five.
knew this was it. I
He's
knew
got
this
a
was it.
5.
But you were just
Yeah.
talking. Who's it signed by?
Great Roy Thomas.
Okay.
Not bad, dude. That is awesome,
great
man.
story about this particular book, Avengers 53, for me is this is the book where as a child I accidentally, in front of my father, pulled the centerfold out. And I was flipping through his comic books, and he was so upset. He grabbed his book, grabbed all his comic books. I never saw him again until after he passed away. That was the last time I saw his comic books as a child, is when I ripped the centerfold out of this book. And I got it back, obviously, when he passed away.
Did he use your full name?
What? Oh,
when he yelled at you, did he use your full name?
Yeah, that's when you know it's real, man.
That's when you know you're in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah, this is awesome, man. I know that like I could already see the chat talking about X-Men issue 9, which is basically the first meeting and technically the battle of X-Men and Avengers, which is a great book. But this is another showdown that stands out. For me, this is great, Buscema cover. Love this. You can't go wrong. I think everyone's excited to see the Avengers and X-Men finally share the screen together. And what kind of things shall we see? Is it going to be a throwdown as we've seen within these books? We'll see, man. We'll see, but definitely excited. I don't know about you guys, man.
Yeah, Doomsday looks like it's going to be a fun time. And, that's the most important thing to me. As long as they take the time to do the character development that they need to do, and they don't just jump into an Endgame style cast without any of that development, I think we'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. But guys, Avengers 53 by Marvel from 1968 had a top sale for a CGC 9.8 at an amazing and impressive $7,500, man. JB, what do we got next?
All right, at number, we're sticking with Avengers. Take a close look at this cover, folks. That's interesting. At shaker number 2, we've got Avengers, the N.G.E.N. Northrop Grumman Elite Nexus. Good Lord. Promotional giveaway. You knew it. Promotional giveaway. And in the fall of 2017, Marvel announced a STEM partnership with Northrop Grumman that would build up to a series of events at New York Comic-Con in 2017. Now, this issue was a promotional giveaway that was handed out to New York Comic-Con attendees on the first day of the event. Can you imagine that? Just getting handed the book. There was an immediate backlash with ethical debates about a kid-centric company partnering with an arms manufacturer that profited from war. Well, this backlash hit hard and forced the two companies to cancel all the events at the convention. Now, the CGC label reads promotional comic for Northrop Grumman recalled by Marvel before distribution. Well, of course, this isn't true, as many copies landed in attendees' hands. However, this is still quite difficult to find today. Now, the market dries up, and then every couple of years, a copy pops up, like this week's all-time high sale of $498 for a CGC 9.8. Now, these custom editions, not for resale books, can frequently be found in dollar bins. Marvel did several promotional books like this in 2017. This was the only one that caused drama and disappeared into comic obscurity. So keep your eyes out when you're digging in them long boxes.
All right. I got some beef with the backlash.
Here we go.
First of all, I think it's hilarious that Northrop Grumman made their own superhero team to work with the Avengers. Having met and worked closely with contractors from Northrop Grumman, most of them are underpaid and overworked. So these teenagers with superpowers are probably really getting the shaft pay wise.
He's like, yeah, we had superpowers, but we had to work 28 hours a day. We haven't seen our parents in 5 weeks.
Yeah. But Northrop Grumman is more than just a defense company. They're a multinational aerospace company. Northrop Grumman worked on the original Apollo lunar module. They work on weather radars, and yeah, they've had a lot of aircraft that have seen war, including the B-2 bomber and the Global Hawk unmanned aerial vehicle, and it's a pretty big company. But to say that they got backlash because, oh no, they profit from the defense industry is kind of ridiculous.
Well, think about where the show was.
Everybody profits from the defense industry.
The show was in New York. Come on, man.
That makes it even more like New York is. After 9/11, New York is very, pro-America and
yeah.
I don't know. This never should have been pulled.
Dude, I've never even heard of this. I had no idea that this even existed. So the story behind it is what really makes it that much more interesting, man. It's so funny what you said about the actual teenagers working here. Having to probably, work 28 hours to get these superpowers per day.
Right.
Yeah, but
you can't come in until your replacement comes. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get any ideas of saving the world until
you log your time. Make sure you log in down to the minute.
I love it. But anyways, guys, Avengers N.G.E.N. Northrop Grumman Elite Nexus promotional giveaway by Marvel back in 2017 had a top sale for a CGC 9.8 at $498. Now,
so
JB.
One more thing before you move on, Lando. Knowing the government, knowing the defense industry, and knowing Northrop Grumman, there's no way that the intention wasn't for this to be Avengers N.G.E.N.
N.G.E.N. That sounds better. Okay.
Yeah,
Avengers okay.
N.G.E.N. N.G.E.N. Okay. All right. I get it. But anyways, let's move on from this because JB, what do we have for Shaker number 3?
Well, I just read number 2.
I'm reading number 3.
Oh, sorry, Chris. My bad.
We got Forgotten Realms Homeland number 3. This is the Juz Fry cardstock by Devil's Due Publishing in 2005. When collecting comics, it is easy to lose sight of all the possible characters and universes that can be explored. Forgotten Realms Homeland number 3 is a comic centered around an extremely popular character in a fantasy literature world that is much less common in the comic world. This is one of the under the radar comics that's been under the radar for years, but with Fry's magical blend of manga and traditional art, it feels like collectors are finally catching on. Dritz Doudrin, as created by the esteemed R.A. Salvatore, is one of the most iconic characters in Dungeons & Dragons lore, but it's slim pickings for him as far as comics go compared to typical mainstays. There are no confirmed print runs for this book, but this variant was a very niche pickup even back then. And we're saying back then, back in 2005. And now it's starting to feel like one of those early 2000s fantasy books that could really take off. A raw near mint of this cardstock cover sold for $110, more than double the previous all-time high.
Wow.
Where are my
Wow.
D&D lovers at?
Wow.
Is that where this is from?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Dritz Dudrin is a character from the Forgotten Realms book series, which is based off of or takes place in the D&D mythos. He's a drow ranger, I believe.
Very cool. I didn't know who knew they were doing card stock covers when in 2005.
Yeah. Chris, there was a point where you were like, back when this came out, making it sound like it was so far away, but I just realized that 2005 was 20 years
20
away.
years
That's
ago,
scary.
man.
Yeah. If you really want to break your brain,
Wow.
right now to 2005 is the same as 2005 was in 1985.
No, I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, we're here to be happy, guys. But yeah, man, I had no idea this was tied to D&D. D&D is like totally something that is like nowhere close to on my radar. I've never played that or done anything D&D. You, Chris, clearly I believe played quite a bit.
What are you trying to say, Lando?
What are you trying to
Didn't
say?
say anything. But JB, are you familiar with D&D or?
Yes, I'm familiar with D&D.
Oh, why does everyone sound so shameful? Come on. I do know the next book everybody is going to be aware of. So let's get through this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is why I
guys.
wanted to read second so I could get this one on here because, man, I'll tell you what, this freaking movie.
Yep. Shaker number 3, guys. We have Forgotten Realms, Homeland number 3, the Jez Fry cardstock, Devil's Due Publishing from 2005 with a top sale for a raw near mint at $110. And like I said, JB's excited. Everyone should be excited about this. And if you have a problem, well, just let it go.
Oh, well played. That was fantastic, Lando. Yeah, no, I had to have this read. My kids, I have 2 little girls, and this was in the sweet spot. This movie must have played several times a day for almost a year, probably. This is the movie. All right, folks. Frozen number 1 from Joe Books, published in 2015. Now, few Disney films have taken the entertainment world by storm quite like Frozen did in 2013. The combination of characters, stories, and songs that appealed to audiences of all ages led to the film being the 5th highest grossing film of all time at the end of its run. The film's success ultimately led to several spin-offs and residual media, including, you guessed it, comic books. In 2015, Canadian publisher, Canadian, what do you know about that? Canadian publisher Joe Books, a frequent publishing partner of Disney and its many properties from 2014 through 2019, created a Frozen comic book that marked the first appearance of most of the Frozen cast in comics. Now, the book has long been a strong performer on the aftermarket, averaging around $150 for a CGC 9.8 copy. However, this week, a CGC 9.8 jumped to a significantly higher number of $325, topping its previous high of $195. Now, a confirmed third movie is on the way, slated for release in 2027. And that fact, coupled with the many first appearances within this book, may be the driving factor behind the big sale. With the book steadily increasing in value over the years, this is certainly one to look out for.
Yep. It unfortunately is, Chris.
Awesome.
Yep. Man, guys, you know what? Look, I know we joke about it, right? Because like obviously we're dudes and we're dads, and we've had to watch this at some point. But I've taken my kids to Disney on Ice. All right. So when Disney on Ice comes to town, man, and they bring everybody. You got Woody, you got Toy Story stuff, you got the Aladdin stuff, all of that. But when the Frozen stuff hits the ice, the kids go absolutely berserk, dude. They go crazy. They're singing along to it. You can hear all the kids enjoying this, and I'm just there like, my God, is this the the big thing now. Is it Frozen? Because like when I was a kid, dude, you had Robin Williams singing on like Aladdin, and it was just good times, man. Those were my movies, right? But yeah, Frozen is. I think it ain't going anywhere.
It's not going anywhere, man. It's huge. It was so big when I was, when I had the girls and we took them to Disneyland. The line to go see Elsa and Anna and your little, one-on-one with the kids dressed up. We waited hours for that.
No way.
Thank God I took pictures because the kids don't remember any of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all three of my kids went through their Frozen. The boys went through it. My daughter, of course. I mean, this is unfortunately part of parenting, right? I mean, yeah, the first time I watched it was fine. It was good. But the 27th and 28th time,
in the 127th and 128th time,
earplugs, it's just like oh my god, let's turn it off. And then of course it's the soundtracks in the car, and
yep.
I don't think I've even seen the second movie yet.
Bless your soul.
I'm trying to avoid it. Third movie is going to be super weird, I'm sure, as Elsa like moves on to create the Twin Pops Frozen popsicle mania. Whatever, I don't know.
Isn't she now like the fifth element? I mean, come on, what exactly is Elsa? I don't even know.
I have no idea, to be honest with you. It's been playing so long. Like, when you end up in autopilot as a dad, like your brain just goes into autopilot. Your kids are watching movies. You're just sitting there. Lights are on. No one's home. That's pretty much what happens whenever they play this movie. But regardless of the fact, it doesn't matter what we feel, guys, because clearly, as we said, Frozen is here to stay, and somebody was willing to pay $325 for Frozen 1 by Joe Brooks back from 2015 on a CGC 9.8. Chris, let's get out of the Frozen Disney stuff.
I mean, hey,
we got
The Rock, okay?
Yeah. Let's go.
All right. Before I give this read, we are halfway through the list, folks. Stick around for after the list. I got a brand new song and video for you guys. All right, brand new. I'm bringing back the Temu rappers. That's right. We got a new video and a new song for you guys for the transition, and then we're going to look at what's shaking on the live site, which is always a good time. So hit that likes button, subscribe if you haven't already, leave a comment down below as to why this cover is the best cover out of all of them today. Because we got the light. How do you pronounce that? Tragedies.
Sure, it's all yours.
Yeah, I mean, Lando, you're the linguist.
Tragedies? I thought it was like commit tragedies.
Commit
tragedies.
Come on.
Herberlinger, Bert Herngreif, Irv Hermlinger, Bing Livehanger, Livelink, Bert Herkern, Bingo Ling Fucker.
It's been a while. It needed to be played.
It's not even the creator that's a problem. It's the damn title. Anyway, this is from 1971. It's printed by the Print Mint Inc. And Greg Irons from 1971. Greg Irons was a whirlwind of creative energy who made his mark in San Francisco during the 60s, crafting those unforgettable, mind-bending posters for concerts. His psychedelic artistic flair was captivating for those who loved tattoos and music. His work is prominently featured on the Beatles' famous music video, Yellow Submarine, which is an acid trip in itself. Many artists of that time period, like many artists in that time period, Irons found himself in the underground comic scene, and he was one of the main contributors to Slow Death Comics. In fact, he illustrated Last Gasp's first comic publication, Slow Death Funnies #1. Ask many of his fans and they'll tell you Greg Irons was an integral part of reshaping the course of underground comics, as well as expanding the limit of tattoo design. With historic influence, it makes sense that this book has reached an all-new high time sale. The comic about the biblical apocalypse, told through psychedelic artwork, landed on the cover price radar when a raw near mint copy sold for $110. Even the highest sale for a near mint of this copy only sold for $45 last year. At this time, there are only 15 copies of this book on the CGC census, and only one is a 9.8. Perhaps this book will be the highest graded copy of this historical artist. This is interesting.
Wow.
I mean, look at the border, right? You see all the really interesting psychedelic tattoo style art around the border. And I think that light in the middle is kind of distracting a little bit. Distracts you from all the cool artwork around the edge.
Yeah, kind of
I
reminds me.
agree.
Of Marvel 25th.
But how does Cover Price come up with these, man? This is amazing. Shout out to the writers at Cover Price for finding these books.
Yeah, and to answer the question for our esteemed commenter, Brandon Metro, the way that things get on this list are all-time high sales, interesting sales, and or important sales on the third-party market. So really, that's just what it comes down to. Cover Price collects the information and the data, and they comb through it every week to bring you the 10 most interesting sales of the week, and that this was one of them.
Yep. I was just saying how the border of the book kind of reminds me of the Marvel 25th anniversary books. But
Dude, the border of the book reminds me of a Grateful Dead poster.
yeah, you're not wrong, dude. It's very interesting. I've never even heard of this. I mean, it's very interesting. As Chris said, that's what Cover Price highlights. It highlights the interesting sales, the high sales, and all the fun sales that took place within the week. But clearly, this one has us all a little confused. But we have light Comet Tragedies. Comet Tragedies? Is that what we're calling it? Comet Tragedies?
I don't know.
We're going like Comet Tragedies. The
Light
print mint ink.
Tattoo cover.
Yeah, exactly. The print mint ink 1971 top sale for a raw near mint $110. I see JB revving up for this one, getting ready.
Getting ready.
What do we got for shaker number 6?
All right, at shaker number 6, man, another cool book. Marvel graphic novel issue number 27, Emperor Doom, starring the Mighty Avengers. This was published in 1987. Now, Dr. Doom has been one of the main villains in all of comics since his debut in 1962 in the pages of Fantastic Four issue number 5. He has been a thorn in the sides of nearly every major superhero in the Marvel universe. And at this point, along the way, he has become a favorite villain for many fans and collectors. Doom has been in video games and animated shows and has even been featured in live action films and a handful of Fantastic Four films, yet most fans have felt that we have yet to see a proper version of the character. The announcement of Avengers Doomsday was met with excitement across the comic world, and we have seen Dr. Doom books increase in both demand and asking price accordingly. Modern books such as Books of Doom number 1 and Doom number 1 have been in demand, as well as basically any Silver Age appearance of Doom. A new Doom book to enter the conversation would be Marvel graphic novel issue number 27. This book features a story about Doom using Purple Man's powers to essentially mind control everyone, and of course, it takes nearly the entire Marvel universe to take him down. This book has long been a $10 raw book, but this past week, there was a huge sale for a CGC 9.8 copy of $340. This sale is more than double the previous high of $160 back in 2022. This sale will put this book on the map for many Doom collectors and will likely lead to more copies being submitted for grading. What do you guys think of this one?
Who's the artist on this?
Oh, it didn't say. What do you
Yeah.
guys think?
I'm gonna look it up real fast.
So
David
on
Michelini
my end,
and Bob Hall on the bottom there.
Yep. Yep, I do see that, Bob Hall. But on my end, dude, you know what? I had spoken about this a little while back, and like, especially with all the Doom hype right now with everything MCU related, like you're gonna see some of the most random books pop. But this one right here, dude, is just it's such a wicked cover. I love the way this cover is done. I've never read the book, so definitely something I want to check
Cat's known
out.
as Bob Hall.
Yeah.
Okay.
I definitely want to check this out. Liger with the Bob Ross just broke me. Broke me.
Happy little Doom up here. You know?
Happy little Doom.
We're gonna give it just a little dash.
So Bob Hall, I like the art, but Bob Hall did Scarlet Witch dirty. Look, I mean, everybody's got their full face
Oh,
show
I know.
for Scarlet Witch. What's up with that? And then the Wasp has got her butt sticking out after clearly looking at the camera because she was staring at Namor's abs. Put on pants, man.
but yeah, I love this cover, man. Like I said, I've never read the book, so you know, what you were just saying, JB, about him pretty much using Purple Man's powers, mind controlling, and stuff like that seems pretty cool, man. Something I would totally want to dive into. But yeah, the Doom covers clearly getting love, Doom books getting love, and it's no surprise to see that. And I agree with what you just said. Probably going to see more, especially like with this type of sale for $340. I think
Everybody's digging for their Emperor Doom books now.
Yeah.
exactly.
Damn it, I had something good. It's gone.
Yeah. But all right, guys. Marvel graphic novel 27, Emperor Doom, starring the Mighty Avengers by Marvel from 1987, had a top sale for a CGC 98 at $340. Chris, I love this next book. Take it away, man.
I mean, you're the only one who loves Morbius, Lando. Sucks. Morbius, Living Vampire, number 3. The Tom Coker variant, 1 in 50 by Marvel in 2013. Tom Coker has been creating comic books for decades, bouncing between Marvel, DC Image, and most recently, Distillery. In addition to providing art for books like Daredevil Noir, 5 Ronin, Wolverine, and Black Panther, he has worked on indie books like American Jesus, The Black Money Murders, and Missionary, and expanded into film with director credits on the 2007 film Catacombs. Croker's 1:50 ratio for Morbius Living Vampire number 3 has been hot for years with no sign of letting up. More than a decade since its release, the variant cover featuring Dr. Michael Morbius in a bloody red track sweatsuit has climbed in value. Prior to this week, 9.8 copies were valued around $660, but that changed this week on May 3rd when the CGC 9.8 CGC 9.8 sold for $800. That's had some effect on raw copies as well. The current average for Near Mint Raw is just under 350. Could it be 3 years after Sony's Morbius movie, the morbid Morbius movie, it's finally Morbin time? Oh, damn it.
That's horrible. That's
Why
horrible.
would you make
That's
me
horrible.
read that?
That's
Somebody
horrible.
did that
Cover
too.
price, I quit. Send me my severance check, and I'm taking you to court for emotional damage.
Oh man.
Okay, look,
Morbin time. Oh my god.
Morbius, I hate the character Morbius. I don't think there is any redeeming storyline for Morbius. I've tried to read several of them. I think Morbius sucks. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Sorry, not
$800 for Morbius, the Living Vampire, issue number 3. Come on, man. Come on.
So, I want to shout out some of you in the chat because I saw some of you bringing up the fact that I did talk about this book on my show on Sunday, and shout out to Michael Baker for sending this my way because the book, guys, we're going back to 2013, right? Like, no, there was almost no shops ordering Morbius the Living Vampire issue
50 of
3
Why?
at 50
Why is
copies.
that? Why is that, Lando?
Sorry?
Why is that?
Because nobody, and I mean nobody, was paying attention to this series nor cared.
That's right. It's
e-
Morbius trucks. That's why.
exactly. But Tom,
This couldn't have been. You had to order 50 copies of Morbius to get this
It
guy.
is.
They
It's a
must
1
have been.
in 50
They
variant.
must have said 50 copies of any Marvel comic. And we'll give you this, right? There's no way a shop was ordering 50 copies of issue number 3 of this book. There's just no way.
no, exactly. That's exactly it, man. So there were no shops definitely paying attention. Or ordering this many copies. Now the 1 in 50 is relatively scarce, guys. It's very difficult to come across on the CGC census. To give you guys an idea, the total census for this is 20, with only 8 of those. 6 of those being 9.8s. So the 9.8s, with only 6 of them being in existence. I guess it makes sense.
What is
but
that?
What I paid
5 copies came from Midtown? Is that what you're saying?
It's
Is you're the only
probably
ones who can
the
afford to
case.
buy that many copies?
It's probably the case, man. But
Mile High Comics. This is in their dollar bin, probably.
yeah. But even when I was going through this on my show Sunday, I was just like, I was taken back by the fact that this sold for $800. This is a big sale. Scarcity, guys. Some people definitely enjoy that. It is a great cover. I really enjoy it. I think Tom Coker did a great job, and it's a very impressive sale. But nonetheless, guys, Morbius the Living Vampire issue number 3, the Tom Coker variant, 1 in 50 by Marvel from 2013, had a top sale for a CGC 9.8 at $800.
And that buyer was Jared Leto.
Yeah, probably. You guys think Jared Leto picked this up?
That's hilarious.
Oh man, that's amazing. But guys, we're getting closer to the end of the list. JB, what do we got at shaker number 8?
Oh man, this one's a cool one. This one's a cool one.
What?
All right, at shaker number 8, we've got Ninja High School issue number 1, the Ben Dunn Antarctic Press from 1987. Now, many agree that OEL, or Original English Language Manga, or Amerimanga, originated in the U.S. with Gold Key's Astro Boy issue number 1. Now, first created by Osamu Tezuka in 1952, this popular character was readapted in the U.S. 10 years later through Western Publishing. Now, several American manga series have been made since then. However, few have lasted as long as this week's shaker, Ninja High School. Born in Taiwan, writer and artist Ben Dunn was inspired to create an anime concept that originated in the US and was not reprinted from existing Japanese literature. The initial run for Ninja High School lasted only 4 issues with Antarctic Press in 1987. Then it switched over to Eternity Comics for issues 5 through 39, then back to Antarctic, which remains in publication today. Now, this week, Ninja High School issue number 1 eclipsed a record high of $316 for a CGC 9.8, which is pretty cool for Ben Dunn to see some gains for his key first issue created almost 40 years ago.
Wow. This is
Damn.
yeah.
I did not know that about Astro Boy number 1. I actually have Astro Boy number 1. I did not know that it was the first OEL. That's interesting.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
I gotta
Ninja
get
High School. So this is an original story. This would be the first, probably the first very popular non-adapted story.
Yeah. You can find Ninja High School books pretty easily in back issue bins. Obviously, most of them are beat up, but I would be surprised if somebody could find this. Yeah.
I lock on the cover.
I had no idea that it hopped that much between the publishers. So that's pretty interesting, because I'm looking into it now. I see that, even up until this summer, June 25th, we're looking at issue 201 coming out. So Yeah, lots of Ninja High School, some great homage covers as well, by the way, throughout the run. But this
I
is
wonder, yeah, if those few issues that were with Eternity, those 5 through 39, I wonder if they're considered more scarce. Interesting.
yeah,
You know, the hardest thing about Ninja High School and like a lot of these uh, manga books, it's hard to know if you actually have like an early run or not, because they reprinted a bunch of them, they restart their numbers, and it's just really difficult. They always have really short print runs. It's pretty hard. It's pretty hard to figure out it because you don't have time when you're going through 25 long boxes to pick your picks. You don't have time to look up every single thing. But as long as your dollar cost average is low, you'll probably be okay.
yeah. Well, very interesting, guys. Ninja High School #1, Antarctic Press, 1987, had a top sale for a CGC 9.8 at $316. Now, like I said, we're getting close to the end, but this is a really cool one.
Yeah. We have the official How to Draw Transformers by Blackthorn in 1987. And How to Draw books have been around forever. And in the late 80s, we saw a string featuring the most popular intellectual properties of that era, including Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe, Robotech, and Transformers. And kids went bananas. Finally, they had instructions on how to draw some of their favorite characters and inspiration to break into their comic culture. There's been a surge in Transformers love lately, leading us to focus on this book published by Blackthorn during their small 3-year window of operations. This book became a nostalgia bomb for fans of the IP and kids who grew up using it. Said kids likely used it to no end, which means that there are probably very few copies in existence that are unscathed, and those probably sit as shrines in collector displays. Recently, a near mint CGC 9.8 copy, the only one on the census, sold for $204. Some may think it's a crazy ask for what's essentially a coloring book, but when mid-grade copies raw sell, they sell on the $40 to $50 average. $204 is not out of the realm of possibility. It's another one of those time capsules of nostalgia that have fans circling back to the well once and again, more and more. And one fan opted to pay big bucks for the highest graded copy available.
I could see a fan doing this. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I don't think 204 is actually all that bad,
Nope.
considering what it is. If you're a fan of the Transformers and you probably already got your 9.8 Transformers 1, you see stuff like this, you're like, ooh, I gotta have it.
Yeah, I agree. Now, look, great sale for a CGC 9.8, but if I were to buy this book, I would want it raw because my oldest, who is 5, is already better than me at drawing, and this is problematic. So I need
This is problematic.
yes, I need such books in my life, dude, because this
I
is
need legends so I can put him in his place.
dude. The other day, my son comes up to me. He's like, "Look, Dad, I drew Optimus." I'm like, "What?" He shows me. I'm like, "Wow, that's really good." Like he's got the colors down. He knows exactly where to, color him red, where to do his blues and everything. I'm like, okay, so I got to step up my game.
Step up the game, Dad.
Yeah, I think this is something that might help me.
Lando's like, "Oh yeah," pulls a guitar off the wall, plays a riff.
Yeah,
How about that, huh?
yeah. I lift my 10-pound weight. Look at me. But yeah, this is a wicked sale, man. Of course, if it's if you're a Transformers fan, this is awesome. So I like this, guys. Official How to Draw Transformers #1 by Blackthorn from 1987 had a top sale for a CGC 9.8 at $204. JB, I'm going to ask you to summon everybody to the Ophir Abyss with the final book. Let's do it.
All right, everybody. Man, this is such a great cover. But come on now.
Yeah.
The final shaker on tonight's show, we've got Witching Hour issue number 80 from 1978. You know what that is? That's the Bronze Age, baby.
Mhm.
Now, in the past few years, there has been a ton of interest in Bronze Age horror titles. Titles such as Witching Hour, House of Secrets, and House of Mystery have popped up on our Shakers Report off and on, with one of the more recent ones right here. While many of these books have featured classic covers such as House of Secrets 103 or House of Secrets 123 and Houses or Secrets of the Haunted House number 5, would be nice if we would have had all photos of those guys. Hundreds of incredible covers are mostly unknown or overlooked by collectors new to this era of collecting. One such book would be this one right here, Witching Hour issue number 80. This cover is certainly familiar for some collectors, but in comparison, it is rarely mentioned when talking about great Bronze Age horror covers. Now, that may soon change, though, as this past week we saw a CGC 9.8 graded copy sell for $600. Wow. This sale is nearly double the previous sale for a 9.8, which was $305 back in 2021, and will surely place high-grade copies of this book on the too fine list for many people out there. You find this book in high grade, good catch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible. Worry about this skeleton's dental plan, but that's an awesome book.
No, skull covers, man. That's a niche that people collect. Skull covers, reflection covers. And this is a reflection cover. This is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong, dude. It's a wicked cover. I really, really like this cover, and you're not wrong, JB. Like I said, a lot of people do enjoy some of those skull covers, but the Witching Hour, it's very interesting to see. The CGC 9.8 making this sale. I'm curious to know how many of these would be available, or on the CGC census in a 9.8. So, clearly that's probably a main driver behind this sale.
I can tell you exactly how many are on there. Just give me a second.
We got great knowledge getting dropped in the chat. Nice skull cover on this week's FOC.
So there are 5 at a 9.8.
Wow.
But there are only 14 total that are graded.
There you go.
There's only 14 graded copies of this book.
Yeah. And ironically, because I'm looking exactly at what you're looking at, Chris, and like he just said it. There's 5 9.8s. There's only 4 9.6s, and then everything below that is either a 9.4, 9.2, or 9.0. So not much. I think the lowest grade available is actually a 5.5.
5.5. Yeah.
So pretty cool. It's a wonderful, wonderful cover. I love this. It's just amazing. Amazing. And I just like the chat. I'm happy to see that the love for horror is still alive. But guys, Witching Hour issue 80 by DC from 1978 had a top sale for a CGC 9.8 at $600. Not enough people into the O for Abyss tonight. I'm kind of disappointed. I wanted to take more into the O for Abyss. Happy to see a lot of you actually made the board. I think, you guys were saying even at the beginning, you were on the board, right? It was obviously the Avengers one. Mm-hmm. Did you get any others, JP?
No. That Witching Hour, though, I want to get that one on the list. That is a nice book right there.
Yeah, it's
right in the sweet spot. Some nice Bronze Age.
Yep. But guys, hang tight, because we're going to check out what's taking place on the Cover Price Daily Shakers list on the website. And Chris has prepared another music
Here we go.
video.
Music video
to kick it off. So guys, I've not heard it. JB's not heard it. We're all hearing this for the first time together. God help us. Let's go.
God help us.
Yeah. Oh, gone. Yeah. Comic Shaker dropping knowledge. This the real report. Panels flipping brainwaves, selling off the court. eBay bids climbing while it's picking torch. Graphic gods rising, values they escort. Bags and boards, the double knight armor. Golden age relics, sellers getting calmer. Watchmen, clocks ticking, raw, great charmer. Comics flipping lives like an alchemist farm. creeping shadows, horrorcore delight. Rob Liefeld pouches, sweeping through the night. Bid wars wilder than Deadpool in a fight. Collectors burn fortune, pages igniting sight. First appearance crazy, Hulk in full rage. Auction hammer slamming price, wars engage. Holographic cover shining like a mage. Collector stacking comics, stacking up a stage. Backpacks and boards, the double knight armor. Golden age relics, sellers getting calmer. Watchmen, clocks ticking raw, graded charmer. Comics flipping lives like an alchemist farmer. Dark Knight hunting, vigilante cape degree. Venom's black resin, sticky symphonies. Comics on eBay breaking economies. Panel shaking hands, history's decree.
Hey, that was not so bad, man.
Lando goes, that's not so bad, man.
Good job, Chris. Good job. All
Good
right.
job.
Take us
You know what?
through-
Really quick, before we get into the Shakers part of it, just in case I forget to say this,
Yes.
I got to shout out a couple of people who were awesome to me this last week. One of them was from the chat. We've got Daniel, Kevin, Ray, and a whole team of people over at Shortbox. If you're not familiar with this platform, they took care of me. I had a big book to sell. I was afraid to just put it on eBay and maybe get, screwed by some buyer. And the way they handled it, it was so, you kind of send them a book and they take care of everything from there. They take care of the auction. They take care of everything. And they treat you like a king. So shout out to everybody over there at Shortbox and their select auction. Daniel, Kevin, and that whole team over there. I wanted to say thank you.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you had a big book move, man.
Big book. Big
Yeah.
book. Sold my Avengers N.G.E.N. In their select auction. Yeah.
How could
I
you do
asked
that to
you-
yourself?
Yeah, I asked you before. Was it hard for you to part with that?
It was hard for me to part with, but I got some other things I'm working on right now, and I'm really focused on our goal. We got a short time frame to accomplish some things, so we're gonna move some things around and make it happen. Plus,
There
it
you
wasn't in my display. It's like you kind of find your sweet spot. I can't move anything in the display,
No.
but stuff that it's all out.
My collection is just
Yeah,
it
it's
is taking over my office.
Yeah.
It is so bad.
likewise. You could almost not see the guitar anymore on the wall. But congrats, JB. That's a big sale, and yes, shout out to the team over at Shortbox, man. That's a
Yeah, they handle everything just like it was really nice.
yeah, big sale. But all right, Chris.
So that music video was all done by AI. I used a couple different platforms to put it together, lyrics and song and everything, and then the video. So yeah, I'll try to shorten it so we can use it as a transition.
No, that was a good vibe. I like the
No,
whole
yeah, it had a good vibe.
Rob Liefeld thing. I was like, yeah, let's go.
I'll keep the way it is.
So you feed it the lyrics, right? I mean, you want it. You got some points you want it.
It's like a multi-stage process. So I say what I want it to be about, right? And it gives me the lyrics.
Yeah, but it said first appearance of Hulk is one of the lines in the raps. I mean,
Yeah.
did you make sure hey, I want to get it? Just threw that in there.
That's
All right.
next level AI. Like you
That's
must be
next
paying
level,
for a
yeah.
premium thing.
Nah, not really. So this is the Cover Price website. They have their 1 year later reflectives. I hate this image of Thor because he's looks like he got hit over the head. But we're gonna go down to the Shakers, Daily Shakers. This report updated. Hey, did this get on top 10? I got this. Cool.
You got the eBay one?
No, I didn't get the eBay one. No, I didn't get the regular one, the regular foil one. But the Daily Shakers list is updated multiple times a day. It takes the hottest sales from eBay and heritage auctions and a couple other things. Maybe even Shortbox. I don't know. But it most interesting sales throughout the day gets updated to this list, and we can see it here. So top 5, we got some usual features, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, Amazing Fantasy number 15, first X-Men. I don't know why
Who's that guy first. What's his name?
Cyclone, maybe
Cyclone.
first Prince of Cyclone. It's an interesting key first kiss between Peter Parker and Mary Jane.
Ah.
Okay, so that's why.
Yum.
But I think the more important thing is that it's 1975 and it's a 9.8. Honestly,
Yeah.
so $6,000. We had Daredevil #1, and of course Invincible. Going down a little bit, and we got Dark Horse Limited to 1,000, Star Wars: The Clone Wars #1. This is a hard to find comic right here.
Yep.
Click on it. So here we got first appearance of Ahsoka Tano, not canon. This is because it's a Dark Horse. I had one of these. I think I had this one. I sold it. Yeah. Yeah. Did not have this one. This is the limited 1,000 cover. I sold it right around the same time that they announced the Ahsoka movie, so I was pretty happy with my sale.
I was surprised that for
What?
May the 4th.
I had to pull out my Ahsoka toy. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Nuts, man.
But yeah, no, I was saying I thought on May the 4th I would have seen more Star Wars books moving, but there was very few.
Yeah. What's up with that Mickey Mouse magazine? Come on.
So this is Chevy Chase Dairy presents Mickey Mouse magazine. So this is some 1933 stuff right here, man. This is old. I think a 7.5 from 1933, almost 100 years. That's pretty impressive. 7.5.
Yeah, it is a big sale.
All right, keep going. Looking for things that we haven't talked about really. This is the first Bizarro, right?
Yep.
Speaking of the House of Mystery, right? It's talking about House of Mystery and the Witching Hour, stuff like that. Here's this 1975 CGC 9.6 sold for $1,100, and you can see the oversized condors in the background. Pretty cool cover here.
Yeah, it's wicked.
Yeah.
$1,100, man. You could have had an Ultimate Fallout 4 9.8.
You could have two of them if they're not graded.
I know.
Early Donald Duck. This has got to be this. What's the key here? Maybe first Huey, Louie, and Dewey. I'm gonna guess.
No way.
No, first Uncle Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge.
Oh wow, that's wicked.
Okay, so
he's not on the cover. So
yeah, look at that. Keep going. Boys Club is one of the really weird covers. First appearance of the first appearance of Pepe the Frog.
Yeah, we did that on the Shakers list once.
Yeah, every time I see that cover, I giggle because it's very strange to look at.
Yeah. Swamp Thing #1, not a key, just the Bernie Wrightson cover. I have two of these. I keep on saying I need to sell it. I'm going to continue saying I need to sell them. I have no emotional attachment to Swamp Thing, and clearly need to let them go. So
Nova, I'm happy to see Nova. There's a lot of talks that we're going to be getting the
stop. Don't say we're going to be getting Nova. I've been hearing we're going to get Nova.
No. I was saying.
And you know what else we're getting? We're getting Blade.
No, stop with the Blade. Stop with the Blade. But I'm dude. I've heard lots of times. Apparently, Annihilus is going to be a big threat post Secret Wars. We'll see. If we get Annihilation, dude, I'm gonna freak out.
I cannot see them handling that character correctly. I'm sorry.
Oh, come on,
it's gonna be Ironheart all over again.
Don't crush my dreams.
No, sorry.
AF-15. What did it go for? 3.5.
5, I think. Yeah.
What was that?
3.5. The AF-15. It was probably on the first line, first book. What did it end up going for? It said a 3.5. How much did it go for?
3.5, almost 9,000.
That is a deal.
$10 for 9,000. Yeah, that is a deal.
That is a deal.
It's not bad.
Crazy. All right. First Batgirl. Early edition of the Hulk. That's pretty cool. First Tarantula, I think, or first cover of Tarantula.
Holy shit! I got that book right here.
There you go. Cool.
Oh, dude, look at that Mark Spears. Another book I had spoken about, but this is the Huntsville. Yeah, this was the one that was available at Huntsville. They had a foil for that was limited to 100, and then there was the regular trade limited to 200. And these are seeing quite a pretty penny on the
Mark
aftermarket.
Spears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
But-
let's come back to that 1 year later.
If you
I want
had
to come back to all the Mark Spears 1 year later.
Okay, all right, but let's just take a quick question for the chat. All right, you got $500. You got two choices. You must leave having spent all that money. Your choice is this Mark Spears limited to 50 mummy metal cover, or this creepy number 11 from 1966 in a graded 9.4. Which one are you getting for your $500?
I'll take the Marvel Spotlight next to it.
No, I didn't ask you that.
I'm with JB.
I would absolutely take the I would, yeah, he's with me though. I would take the creepy.
So would I.
I mean, over
I
a
would also-
metal, come on, man, a metal cover, come on.
Yeah, I would take the creepy as well. I would take the creepy. I mean, of course, if you had all the options for this whole line, because they all went for
They're
$5,
all
right?
$5. This is a perfect one. Hey, chat, if you're watching this on the rewind, we got 5 books
Full
for
row.
$500.
Yeah.
The full row, $500.
Full row. They're all $500. I'm buying Marvel Spotlight. What are you buying?
Yep. I like Knicks, but at a 9.4, is it a 9.4? Yeah.
9.4. Yeah, I think I would go. Man, I'm a sucker for 10-cent Detective Comics, but it's not a key and it's not a great cover. It's kind of a weird cover. I think I would go Knicks. And the reason why I would go Knicks is because I don't think that we're done with X-23.
She's such an awesome character, man.
I'm with JB, man. Marvel Spotlight is probably the winner for me.
Okay. We got here's your direct and your newsstand Todd McFarlane's Batman number 423. Okay, so lots of things that we normally see, right? Let's go back to the top and let's filter only by variants.
Yes.
Variants? No. Come
That's
on.
right. Come on, we see all-time highs all the time. Let's look at
All right. Hey, is that
yeah, it's a Bird City Comics.
Bird
Shout out
City
to,
Comics?
Lady Laura.
Like
$600 for a 9.8.
Damn.
Still doing some damage. Look at
Damn,
that.
still doing it.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
That is
Here we got spot number 1 newsstand for $550 in a 9.8. Kevin Eastman Turtles number 3rd printing for a raw went for $550. That's pretty impressive. Here we go. Keep going. I've never seen this cover before. 9.9.
Shannon Mayer.
Yeah, that's a pretty good looking cover right there.
Like it.
Pretty cool. KRS Comics exclusive.
I lost the filter.
Lost the.
Dang it.
He doesn't like the back button. He likes to go research the whole thing.
All right. Toxic Avenger. G.I. Joe.
Oh, G.I. Joe.
Yeah, good stuff there. It's a new edition.
I really wanted that Campbell Spider-Gwen. It's a must own for me.
This book paid for my 3D printing lab right here.
Nice.
Crazy.
I got a bunch of them for less than $10. And I sold all of them for $200 each.
Nice.
Look at you flipping.
Yeah, well,
You flipping them.
no, I'm thinking of a different book, but I do have this book. I think, and I think it's in my store. Yeah, good stuff. Here we go. New stand.
Dude, that Blood and Thunder is like doing amazing. Look at that.
Oh yeah. The J. Scott Campbell Blood and Thunder. Yeah, it's good stuff.
That's a 1 in 50 hitting $175. Like, guys, that ain't chump change.
This is probably my favorite Mark Spears cover.
That's a great homage, man.
Yep.
I love this cover.
Looks great.
Mr. Spears, if you are a watcher of this show, and I know you are, that's my favorite cover. Okay, so that's going to be it tonight.
There you have it, guys.
Taking
Yep. So, like I said, not enough people in the O for Abyss, but still a good show nonetheless. Happy to see lots of you made it onto the list because, I mean, at the Shakers, it's almost rare we don't that we do end up on that list. So happy for all of you. Guys, before we say goodbye, we're going to go around the horn and say goodbye one by one. Chris?
It's Thursday. You guys know what that means. It was a great Shaker show. We had a good time. I got a long weekend ahead of me, but I'm happy I was able to stop tonight and talk comics with my good friends.
There you go, my man. And of course, the man who held it down with us, filling in for Marty, who couldn't be here tonight. JB, what's up?
I just want to say thanks again for having me. And just so you know, silver and bronze over modern metal all day, every day.
Every day.
Yeah, every day.
And thank you, Kilted Corgi, for reminding everybody, call your mom. Wish her happy birthday.
Yeah, man.
She deserves it. She had to put up with you.
Dude, if that's the case, I owe my mom the world for putting up with me. But yeah, JB, I think we also forgot to say we had a lot of what tonight?
Oh, that's right. Don't forget, everybody. We had a good time.
Yeah, we had a good time, guys. Guys, we're closing in. One thing I wanted to mention as well. Although JB had the greatest sign off tonight, the 1 year mark since TiVo. Always in my thoughts as well since hopping on the channel. And yeah, guys, don't forget, man, if you post books and you think of us, you think of this show, hashtag Lords of the Long Box, man. Don't forget to keep that rolling. And we appreciate every single one of you who do that. We're always checking that out. So have yourselves a great week, a great weekend, a great Mother's Day. Cherish your moms. Take care of your moms. They took care of you. They took care of us. We owe them a lot. A lot. All right. Have yourselves a great weekend, guys. Peace out.
For the entire crew, this is Tebow saying keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.